Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you all are having a great day so far. So today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So far, this channel has been focused on repair, troubleshooting, and jailbreak type videos. So as a filler, in between the development of those releases, I'm going to start indulging in somewhat of a guilty pleasure that I wanted to do for a while, that being reviewing sour candy. And starting with this video, each candy will be evaluated on the following criteria. So the first will be initial taste. I personally define this as the first sensation of the product in terms of flavor as it passes the lips and contacts the tongue. Moving on to texture, which will be the physical characteristics and overall mouth feel of the product. Sour, so this will be assessing the level of sourness. Aftertaste, so that final sensation of the product as it passes the tongue and is swallowed, as well as overall flavor. If there are multiple flavors, for example, initial taste and aftertaste, or possibly even more, how well they blend and accompany each other on their journey. So based on these criteria, I will assign a numeric rating between 1 to 5 to each category, and based on the average of those categories, a final rating will be assessed. Now, before we start this, there are some things to keep in mind. The first being that these reviews, as you can imagine, are subjective. Everyone is entitled to their own tastes. I'm just highlighting my personal experiences in these reviews. Also, this is hardly scientific, if at all, since every single one of these categories is based upon personal predilection and experience. Some may agree, others may not. However, it's important to remember that essentially none of these reviews will be based on objectivity other than the fact that the candy exists. So I'll say this once again in another way. The only objective factor stated for any of these reviews is that the candy exists. That's it. And that being said, please refrain from engaging in philosophical discussions regarding what is existence and what is not. That's not what these videos are for, and that's generally a bit annoying. Basically, by watching this video, we are operating under the presumption that objectively this candy exists. Everything else will be subjective in regards to opinions, etc. There are other channels much more suited to debating the nature of existence and entropy. This is not one of them. Maybe a physics channel or something. Also, if the candy has multiple flavors, I'll be individually evaluating each variant, which will make the video a bit longer. And finally, I'm not going to say this disclaimer every single time. I'll just post it in the description for you guys to read later. So that being said, we can go ahead and get started. Today we have a very common Skittles variant, that being the sour gummy Skittles found at your standard supermarket. On the back of the bag, we can see that there are 5 different flavors, that being strawberry, grape, lemon, orange, and apple. The artificial colors in this product are most likely not good for you, and there are also 18 grams of sugar per serving. So sensible portions are encouraged, especially since the serving size claimed on the bag is 14 pieces, with about 12 servings per container. So averaging about 168 Skittles per bag. That's a lot of Skittles. So let's go ahead and rip this open. And let's see if we can go ahead and try the first flavor. Oh. This is a pain. We'll be right back. I will readily admit that I've never been good at opening these things, but it looks like I'm getting some progress here. Alright. There we go. Now that's open, let's go ahead and pick the first flavor, which will be, it looks like, strawberry. So let's go ahead and try that. So for the initial taste of strawberry, it seems to be very piquant, leaning heavily in that sour direction with a less pronounced and more subdued strawberry flavor as I keep biting into it. And I do think after eating it for a while, the sour will become overwhelming to most, but still not as sour as I would be aiming for. And then again, I should also say I eat lemons, so my tolerance may be higher than most for that. sour flavor. And the texture is soft and not gooey. The sour crystals on the candy itself provide a thin, sort of semi-hard layer to bite through, which also contributes to that good chewy texture and can probably be expected of the rest of these. And the aftertaste does lean more towards that strawberry and less toward the sour, which is to be expected since, of course, this is going on your tongue and the sour crystals are going to be eliminated after maybe a few seconds or so. So I believe for that initial taste from the strawberry, I would give it a 4. For the texture, I would give it a 5. This texture really is very good. For the sourness, I would probably give it a 3, but I think for most people this would probably be a little bit higher. For that aftertaste, I would also give it a 4. And for that overall flavor, the flavor between the strawberry and the sourness, I think goes well together, even though to most people it would taste sort of one note. I do count sour flavor and strawberry flavor as 2 different flavors that go pretty well together. So I will count that as a 5 as well. So the next flavor on our list is going to be this grape. Let's go ahead and try it. So I think it's surprising how bold and prominent the grape flavor is in these for both the initial taste and the aftertaste. It starts off strong and becomes even stronger as you chew through it. The sourness is more or less the same, as is the texture. Though I do think that because the flavor is so strong, even though the sourness is the same, it somehow feels slightly less sour because of that overwhelming grape flavor. I would essentially call this a moderately sour grape gummy candy. So for all of these ratings, I would give the initial taste a 4, the aftertaste also a 4, the texture is similar, the sour level is similar, and for the overall flavor, I would rate this slightly lower just because of that overwhelming grape flavor. It just seems much stronger, even though the sourness is essentially the same. It just pushes more through. Alright, so our next candy is going to be this lemon flavor. Let's go ahead and try that. So for the lemon, just by merit of the flavor itself, it feels more sour, even though it's not. Though that's to be expected since it's lemon. That initial taste definitely leans in the sour direction, with the lemon flavor augmenting and enhancing the overall sourness of the candy itself. Same applies to the aftertaste as well. And the texture is more or less similar. However, the overall flavor is definitely something special here. Both the sour crystals and the lemon work together very well to produce a very focused sour flavor. So if you hate lemons, you will absolutely hate this because it's overwhelmingly lemon. But if you eat lemons, like I do, then this will be incredible for you. So for the initial taste, I will still keep it at a 4, as well as the aftertaste, keeping it at a 4. The texture is still the same. The sourness has definitely increased, or maybe it's just a placebo effect because, you know, it's the same across all of them, but that's at least how it feels. For the overall flavor, for me personally, this is like very, very good. So that's only because I really like lemons. If you don't, then you are going to absolutely hate this. So now we're moving on to the next flavor. This is orange. The orange flavor has similar characteristics to the strawberry, however leaning slightly less into the sour and more so into the orange, with a subdued flavor for the initial taste and a stronger flavor in the aftertaste. And this might be the sour tolerance, though it does feel like these are considerably less sour than the strawberry variant. I also think the sour combination with the orange here does not work as well as the strawberry either, with the orange being overwhelmingly orange, similar to the grape being a very bold grape flavor. So I suppose it depends if you prefer a moderately sour orange gummy candy overall. Personally, I do not believe I've ever found a successfully sour orange candy. However, I could be wrong, and I hope to be proven wrong in subsequent videos. However, for now, I would rate that initial taste to still as a 4. I actually messed this up down here, but I will rate the texture still as a 5. The texture is probably going to be the same across all of these. The sourness, for me, it just seems a little bit less sour. So the sour is at a 2, The aftertaste is similar to the initial taste, except maybe a little bit stronger. Overall flavor, since grape tends to taste better for me than orange, I would personally put that at a 3. And the final flavor is going to be apple. On the back of this container, it says apple. However, it's green, so maybe it will be a green apple flavor. Let's go ahead and try it out. If you're a fan of that green apple candy flavor, that's essentially what this is, except possibly slightly more subdued. Similar to the lemon, the sour crystals enhance that overall flavor, and it works very well to augment that green apple, making it much more prominent. The texture is also about the same. The initial taste is great, and after that, it tastes even better. It also seems more sour, though I'm almost certain that's placebo, given that it's literally green apple. So all that being said, I think I would definitely rate this similar to the lemon. So having that initial taste on a 4, and the aftertaste, I think in this case it's actually even better. It's on a 5. That texture is about the same, which is great. The sourness, once again, sort of an iffy kind of 4, because I think my tongue is playing tricks on me. And that overall flavor, once again, is that 5 plus because it's fantastic. It's that sourness combining with an already sour flavor to make that flavor push so much further through. I think that's what really enhances gummy candies and sour gummy candies overall. Just the combination of the sour as well as the initial flavor, making it even more sour, which is fantastic. So now with all this data that we have, I'm going to generate the averages for each one of these flavors and then get an overall average and then give some final thoughts. So after collating the averages, the resulting sum here is 4.16 out of 5, which I think is pretty decent. And I would agree with that. This is a fairly decent sour gummy candy with some strong flavors and a well-balanced textural characteristic that makes these flavors shine in a very focused and a prominent way. So there are some flavors, such as the orange, for example, that could be improved. However, based on the criteria here, I would recommend this as a sour gummy candy in the absence of healthier alternatives. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed my first sour candy review. Let me know your opinions in the comments, and there are more main content related videos coming out soon as well. So I'll see you all then. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.